on crack. Like the amount of emotion.
That was crazy, Travis.
Somebody's getting whacked in the front office.
Oh my goodness, has he been incredible these past couple of games?
Can we talk about how good of a coach Dayball is?
He looks like a Cowboys fan.
Kadarius is Tony's little piggies on the line.
Daddy Flacco.
Tommy DeVita, Tommy Cutlets.
Tommy Cutlets, baby.
Yeah, okay, good morning, afternoon, and evening. It's the guy you should believe in. Dropping heat like every season. Underdog like Willie Beeman.
All right,
Classic
Trev,
like
let's
Dom
rapid fire
singing.
these picks, yeah?
Sure.
So Dumpster Bowl, Chargers, Raiders. We got the worst game of the week by far. Who are you taking?
Chargers, Raiders. Give me Raiders.
All right, clean sweep there. No surprise. Saturday, we got games. First one, Vikings, Bengals head-to-head. Josh Dobbs is now sitting on the bench, and Nick Mullins is starting versus Jake Browning.
Bangies.
All right, sweep there. We got Steelers, Colts here. I don't even know if I need to ask.
Colts.
Okay, another sweep.
Give me the
Last game of the
Colts.
night, we got Broncos, Lions. This is a split decision. You probably know which way it's going. But Russell Wilson versus Jared Goff. Lions are on a, Broncos are on a woohoo, and the Broncos are currently doing everything, all the little things right, and the Lions are doing everything wrong. Your pick?
Broncos.
Broncos. I like it. All right. Giants, Saints. We are coming off of the Tommy DeVita, Tommy Cutlets.
Tommy Cutlets, baby.
Versus the Saints. I don't know if it's Jameis Winston or Derek Carr.
It doesn't matter.
Huh?
Tommy DeVito, baby.
You're taking the Giants. All right.
Yeah,
Is it Jameis Winston? Because that's all I really want to know.
I don't care.
You don't care. If it's, can I put an asterisk on this one? If it's Jameis Winston, I'll take the Saints. If it's not, I'll take Tommy Cutlets.
I like that.
Can I
I like that because it leaves a probability that we all go Tommy Cutlets.
Okay, is that okay?
It leaves a possibility that we all become family.
All right, so if you guys are okay with it, then I'll put the asterisk there. If it is Jameis Winston, though, I will go Saints.
Yeah, let's go.
Okay, cool. Next up, we got Falcons coming off of a loss to the Bucks and relinquishing the division number 1 seed versus the basement of the NFL, the Carolina Panthers, who don't even have their pick next year and for some reason don't want to win football games and just keep giving the Bears a better pick. So Falcons, Panthers.
Falcons.
For some reason, I thought you were going to take the upset there for I don't know what reason. So that's a sweep. Next up, we got Bears, Browns, Daddy Flacco versus the return of Justin Fields. The Bears defense does look better, but the Browns overall look like a well-oiled machine. Daddy Flacco looks better than the other guy that was playing quarterback who wouldn't take no for an answer.
Yeah, give me the Browns.
Yeah. Yeah, give him Daddy Flacco.
Bucks, Packers here, another split decision. Bucks are, like I said, coming off of that huge win against the Falcons, taking the lead in their division. Packers are coming off of that tough loss last night to the Giants, but they still look fantastic. Jaden Reed continues to surprise. And in my opinion, I mean, the season continues. This rookie season, you guys get what I mean, by Jordan Love continues to follow the storyline of Aaron Rodgers' rookie season as well. So who are you taking? Bucks, Packers?
Close game. I'm going to go Packers.
Nice. That's where I'm going. All right. Next up, we got
Isn't
Jets.
it funny? I'm the only every single split decision he's gone with your pick.
Mm-hmm.
He just no solid bones. He's just a stat guy.
My God.
Both of you guys are just stats guys. You guys got no feelings.
Next up,
this is all feeling. I have no stats based on any of these picks.
Next up, we got Jets, Finns. We obviously know where I went. We obviously know where Zane went. Zach Wilson is coming off of a 300-plus yard performance where he finally got to sling the rock, 2 touchdowns. The team looked excited to rally around him, and I'm excited to rally behind him as well. Pause. And then Tyreek got nicked up in this game versus the Titans, but returned, did not look the same. Jalen Waddle took on the number 1 role, but disappointed, as well as the rest of the Dolphins team as a whole. Tua looks not able to hold on to the ball, and there's a big question mark at center coming up this week, which is obviously the general of that offensive line and a huge loss. So Jets, Fins.
I'm gonna go with the New York Jets.
Let's go, baby.
Oh, that's
Let's
surprising.
go, baby.
You stole them over there. You
Let's
stole
go,
them over there
baby.
with those stats.
Next up, we got Chiefs, Pats. This one has huge playoff implications. Of course, like I said, Chiefs keep losing and the Broncos keep winning. The Broncos are testing the Chiefs' mettle to see what they're really made of. The Pats made a return with Bailey Zappi and Henry last week, catching, 2 touchdowns and a half, 3 touchdowns on his birthday. First player to ever do it, if I remember correctly. Defense looked great. The Chiefs are doing similar to the Lions, are on, and the Patriots aren't necessarily on the way up, but they look better than they have, and they're doing the small things. The Chiefs are doing everything wrong, as well as Kadarius Tony's little piggies on the line. Who you taking?
I'm gonna go Chiefs.
Okay, you're siding with Zano here. All right, next up, Texans-Titans. Huge loss for the Texans. We got to see Zach Wilson go crazy on them last week. That's a good defense that looked shambles. Titans are coming off of a huge win last night. Huge confidence booster for not only Will Levis in and of himself, but also for Derrick Henry, for Tajay Spears, for Okongwu, not Okongwu, that's NBA. The tight end that has that name, I can't remember what it is at the moment, and DeAndre Hopkins. Personally, I love the enthusiasm from Will Levis. CJ Stroud is also, keep in mind, going into concussion protocol, so we're going to get to see Neck Mills once again in under center. So Titans, Texans.
You said CJ, he's out. He's in protocol.
He's in concussion protocol. We've only seen, I believe it is 5 players this year return to play after the same week the week after they suffered a concussion. So most likely the odds are tipping in favor of Neck Mills starting for the Texans.
Man, 2 Kool-Aid boys going at it. That's for sure.
Sure.
But give me Will Levis.
All right.
I like
Love
that.
it. Clean sweep. All right. Niners, Cardinals. I don't have to say much about this. The Niners look like the Avengers, and they're about to tear Thanos' head off, and the Cardinals, unfortunately, look like the scared little kid in the corner who didn't know what he signed up for. So,
Niners.
Cool. Next up, we got a huge game. This is not only for playoff implications, but also just a test your mettle kind of game. Boys versus Bills. Big storylines here. Boys win this. They take control of the division and jump from the 5th seed to the 1st seed. If the Bills win, they gain a stronger foothold in the wild card playoff race. So boys, Bills, Josh Allen's on the up. And the Cowboys could flex their firepower, could fall on their face. What's your pick?
Boys.
Yeah,
Boys.
he looks like a Cowboys fan.
Okay, we both went Bills for the storyline. So you're going to have to eat some worms on that if they lose. Next up, we have Ravens, Jags. Not much to say here. Trevor Lawrence looks like the true prince after the way he acted after rolling his ankle in that game. Either way, it didn't look good. It didn't feel great, even watching it through the screen, but that was still sort of an overreaction for there to be nothing that came out outside of he rolled his ankle. Lamar Jackson and the Ravens continue to roll. Zay Flowers continues to emerge and continues to take on a larger and larger role. Now with Mark Andrews out, the tight end question is still there, but the defense prevails for the Ravens. Jags, Ravens, who are you taking?
Ravens.
Got it. Clean sweep there. Next up, this is a split decision as well. Eagles, Seahawks. Now, we saw the shambles that the Eagles secondary was in. We talked about how DK Metcalf looks to be on his Raiders vibes. He is continuing to stand on business. He does not care who is in front of his face. And we do have a little bet on AJ Brown versus DK Metcalf. And Zane has, I reverse psychology Zane into taking DJ Metcalf to have more yards than AJ Brown. I won't reveal who our picks are, but it's a split decision. Who are you taking? This is a Monday night.
I'll take the Eagles.
Taking the Eagles. I took the Seahawks.
I know you did.
All right. So that wraps up our picks for the week. That felt so good.
I want to say, I just want to give a round of applause to you there, buddy. I feel like a dad right now. What you just did was incredible. I've never, like, you sounded like a sportscaster right now. You were just, you sounded like it's halftime and you're giving out the stats for all the other teams and what just happened. That's what it felt like. And I was going to say something, but I was like, let's just let him roll. Let's just let him keep going.
That was just flow state.
He was in flow state. I didn't know you had that many stats. I had no clue.
I didn't even have, literally, this is what my page looks like. It's just the games. It's just the games.
We started this and I was like, I have a little bit of stats only for quarterbacks. I'm going to need you to get a little bit of stats to get this going. And then you just come out and like, you have something, especially the center calls. The center calls about the centers getting hurt was outstanding. I had no clue that was happening.
You're better than the red zone guy on.
Yeah, you're bringing up stuff that like nobody is talking about, but it's very prevalent to whether or not a team wins or not. You're giving Trav a huge advantage with that.
Yeah,
Rain
I was
Man.
like, shoot, I felt
Rain
like
Man.
I watched like the most needed piece of information to make my
Yeah,
pick.
you were on.
I might go 100%. I might go 100% this week, and it's because of you. So thanks.
Yeah, you
That'd
were
be
on
crazy.
absolute fire for that
was
entire
nuts.
segment.
That was nuts.
It was the most efficient segment I've ever seen in my life.
That was the most efficient segment we've ever done on this show.
I kind of wanted to like elaborate on some of the picks, but like kind of like Zane said, I'm like, hey,
just let him go.
Let him cook.
I'll just let him talk.
And the reason why it was the most efficient segment we've ever had is because I didn't talk.
Well, I appreciate it. That felt good. I was just ripping. That was just free balling. All right.
No, that was amazing. I can't believe you had all
week.
that. I can't believe you had all that inside of you.
Pause.
I can't believe it. All right. Let's get into our Monday night games.
Yes.
Two major upsets that just happened. Packers were on a tear. We thought the Packers were going to be one of the upset teams that would upset a great team in the playoffs. All of a sudden, flipping Tommy Cutlets comes out. This man's a machine. And then our bet didn't hit, but it's whatever.
One of them didn't hit. I won the other one. But just a quick note with this. I walked in today to my to work and my boss goes, you watched the games last night? I was like, yeah, of course I did. He was like, I made so much money last night. I was like, did you? He's like, yeah, I just on a whim. I took the Giants money line at plus 450 in like mid third quarter. And then I ended up taking I took at the beginning of the game the Titans at plus 10.5. And he won. It was like $500-$600 or something last night.
We got to get him on here. We got to get his picks. That's who we need. We need that guy.
Yeah, it was hilarious. I walked in, he's like, you watch us. It was so funny. But anyways, from last night, so Wilson won. I got that one. And then we broke even on the Tommy DeVito, Jalen Reed touchdown.
Yeah,
so,
the one passing from Tommy and then one Jalen Reed touchdown.
So
no
wash
money made or spent.
Wash there. Currently the tab sits at $25 for me and $0 for Zane.
Is that the actual tab? I thought I've won a couple.
Yeah, you did. You won a couple. So Tim Boyle, I won. That was $10. Tyreek Hill, you won. That was $10. So wash. You won Conklin at $5. I won Gus under at $10. So I walked out of week 12 with $5. Then last week, I took the under on Boyle for 185. That was $10. So that was my tab was at 15. And then this
Tim.
week, this week, it was Boyle versus Wilson. Whoever played, it was under over, remember? Whoever, depending on who played. I had Wilson played, so I had him over. He threw for 300. That was 10. And then the other bet last night was a wash. So I walked out at plus $25. Babe. And
You're
then
a scam artist.
This week, Zane or Travis, so you know what we're looking at here. So we have straight up. Let me see. Week 15, the Packers are playing. Who are the Packers playing? I have here. Oh, Baker. I think it's Baker. Yeah.
Packers Bucks.
Yeah, Packers Bucks. So Jordan Love, Baker Mayfield, who has more passing yards, just straight up. We have $10 on that. We have Flowers under over half a touchdown. So if he scores or he doesn't score, I'm taking the under. Zane's taking the over. And then, like I said, Zane has Metcalf for. We have
more yards than AJ
yards. Brown. Yeah, we have a yards versus with Metcalf and Brown again.
But yeah, let's get into the Giants. I only have Tommy DeVito stats, so I'm going to read them off. Tommy DeVito, 17 for 21, 81% completion rating, 158 yards, 1 TD, 0 interceptions. What I really want to talk about is this game, his use of his legs, which we haven't seen in previous games. He rushed 10 times for 71 yards, only 15 yards below Saquon Barkley, who rushed for 86, I want to say. Only a 15-yard difference between their number one running back and then a quarterback who hasn't used his legs and has been a pocket passer for ever since he started. And we really saw him use his legs to extend plays, continue drives, and we saw the result. They came out, beat the Packers, which I don't think anyone except for myself, because I like the name Tommy Cutlets, chose the Giants.
You're probably right. You're probably right. I want to talk about something different here, which I not to discount anything you've said, but I just want to talk about something a little bit different here. Can we talk about how good of a coach Dayball is?
You see him on the sideline, I guess.
That's what I'm like. He took Daniel Jones. He turned down the interceptions and the fumbles, turned him into a rushing monster. They won games. He gets Tommy DeVito. They're shambles. 3 games later, they look pretty dang good. Granted, their offensive line is still giving up. Their offensive line has gotten a little bit better. The first couple weeks, I was hunting them on fantasy. They were giving up a lot of sacks. But outside of that, for Tommy DeVito, he's played great. Like, for the most part, for a backup quarterback, a game manager, he's played great. We don't talk enough about the coaching in the NFL, and Dayball is one of those guys he was very deserving of Coach of the Year last year, and he's doing a great job again this year.
Yeah, he knows what he's doing for sure, and we're seeing it this year. I do want to talk about number 13. I don't know his name. I don't know if that's Slayton
Hyatt.
Hyatt?
He's a rookie, yeah.
Oh my goodness, has he been incredible these past couple of games?
He was not good this game.
Yeah, not this game, but these past couple of games, he was looking like a number 1 wide receiver. I pulled clips for our predictions on Giants Packers, and I've just pulled highlights. 50% of all the highlights was Hyatt flipping, going up, catching it, toe taps, all of it.
Well, Hyatt, they need it. They've been looking for a receiver. They need a receiver. They know they're not going to get one in free agency, so they have to draft. And this could be the emergence. Obviously, his boost in targets probably also comes from the lack of Darren Waller there. That's his name, right? Yeah, Waller.
Darren Waller.
Him not being there, there's probably a boost in targets from that. He hasn't been that productive all season anyways, but I would expect him to kind of go back to the mean and regress some next year.
You think so? I think we might be looking at a breakout player next year.
He was one of the fastest players from the draft.
I don't disagree. He could be a breakout player, but I don't think we'll see. I think he's a Devontae Smith. Like, I don't think he's a number 1 because
he's a number 2.
Yeah, because you're gonna get Darren Waller's gonna get more of those targets once he's back. Saquon gets a massive amount of carries. Well, he might not even be there. So maybe there is a chance he goes crazy next year, but I don't To me, I don't think
I
they
think
do.
if Tommy DeVito's there next year with the reception that he's gotten from the fans and how much everybody loves him, I would say he's there next year.
I don't know though. Like, what did they can't from a general manager perspective, you can't punt on Daniel Jones just because you just paid him all this money, but at the same time, you want to. It's almost like a Russ situation where you're like, we just paid him all this money, we can't punt on him. So,
but I think, what were we saying? We were talking about was it the Steelers that I said Steelers front office doesn't care about the fans? I'm pretty sure it was. I think it's kind of the opposite for the New York Giants. And I think the fans kind of do have an actual voice when it comes to these types of things.
Could be.
And I think with how beloved Tommy DeVito is, I mean, they show his family after every good play that happens on the field. They show his family sitting in the stands, right? They love it's like the Taylor Swift 2.0, but with the DeVito family. They're showing them all the time. They absolutely love the DeVitos. They love Tommy DeVito. I wouldn't be surprised if he sticks around.
He's a man of the people.
I would.
He is a
It's
man of the
all
people.
for the storyline, the Giants storyline. I think they gotta keep him. I think there's no way they don't.
Yeah.
And I think if they do, somebody's getting whacked in the front office.
What do they do with Daniel Jones though? That's my question.
Whack him.
I don't know.
They get rid of him.
They do something. I don't know.
XFL?
All I'm saying is that he's living at his mother's house. And from the story that I was told from watching the game is that there are people driving to his house, giving him meals like they just lost a family member, which is just because he's starting for the New York Giants. Like, if that doesn't tell you something about how much the fans like him, I don't know what will.
Yeah, I think they keep him for sure.
I think
Really?
so too.
I just don't know what they do with
All right,
Daniel Jones. All right, let's talk about this Titans-Fins game, because this
The
was the game
real-
to me that was like, this was it. This was the game that was, to me, my eyes were on this game the whole night. The Packers game, it was cool, but this watching Will Levis lead that drive it felt like the beginning of something.
Man's a dog.
Like we saw sparkles of it when he threw 3 touchdowns to DeAndre Hopkins, but this was just a masterpiece. He looked great. And Zane, you brought it up yesterday, and I think I was a little tired, but in reflecting on it, him like throwing a pick and then putting his body on the line is huge.
It's ginormous.
That's so huge because it shows the defense. I care that I threw that pick. I care that I made a mistake. I'm going to do what I can to make up for it. It may not be much in the grand scheme of things, but I'm willing to put my body on the line in order to let this team win. And that goes again when he trucks that linebacker. I think it was on a 3rd down or something like that. Again, same thing. So this
and
like he's their guy, and he feels like the right guy for Tennessee.
I agree. And I think you're not going to see any clips of a defense yelling at their quarterback. You're not going to see any clips of a wide receiver yelling at their quarterback when their quarterback, who just threw a pick, maybe does a fumble, just literally like he threw a pick directly at a defensive lineman. It's in their own red zone, basically in their end zone. And this 280-pound Dolphins defensive lineman has the ball, and he's sprinting towards the end zone. And Will Levis meets him at the goal line. The probability of Will Levis stopping like a 300-plus pound D lineman from entering the end zone is probably in the 0.0001% of things that happen. But he did it anyways, because that's just the guy he is. And when you see that, even though they just scored off of his interception, it's not as bad as if he throws it and he goes, and he just watches them walk in, right? Like, it gives the team more fire coming out that this guy's willing. He makes mistakes, right? Everybody makes mistakes, but he's willing to do whatever he can to try and rectify those mistakes. And I think that's the important part of Will Levis and why they're seeing success.
Well, it's like everybody always says, like, you don't want your quarterback like getting in trouble necessarily all the time, but you don't want him just to be like tuck his tail between his legs when stuff goes down. Like if you like see your quarterback like talk back at somebody or like shove somebody, you're like, oh, okay.
Especially
like, okay.
last week when he was yelling at D-Hop too. Like that's a vet receiver right there that you have the nuts to go ahead and do that. It shows the competitive spirit. It shows that he cares, and it shows that he's not afraid. Like, I'm the quarterback. I'm leading this team. I will lead by example. I need you to do your job.
Yeah,
And
the mayo in his coffee is fermenting inside of his brain. And he's doing something different, right? I know everybody on our video was like, Andrew did the same thing. Not like this guy, right? Not like this guy. This guy is playing defense when he needs to. He's playing fullback when he needs to. There's a clip of him running the ball. Jalen Ramsey's coming. Jalen Ramsey puts his head into the dirt trying to stop this guy, and he just runs right through him. There's something different about the way he plays. He's playing multiple positions every single drive that he goes out there, and I love it.
He's just not scared of any. He's just not playing scared at all. Like,
I love it because that's a big thing that a lot of the older players talk about is like, and this translates to the NBA too, is these guys are getting like, they have all these days off, you know, and they don't play games. And so they're more prone for injury because their body's not built to stand up to this kind of abuse. Will Levis is not that. So when he gets railed, in the pocket, and he gets taken out by a 300-pound D lineman, he's like, I just did that last week. Yeah. I'm good. I'm chilling. So I love it. I
played middle linebacker in between plays. I'm good.
He literally does. And there's two things I want to say. First thing is, have you guys seen this man's face when he's playing the game? Like, he looks like he's actually like on meth, on crack. Like, the amount of emotion.
That was crazy, Travis. What was that?
I don't know. It was just my Will Levis look.
That was
the amount of emotion that guy plays with is insane. And the other thing is that, what side of the coin would you guys rather have? Would you rather have a guy who plays almost perfect, but when stuff doesn't go his way, he just stands there? Or would you rather have a guy who does make mistakes, but when he makes those mistakes, he does everything in his power to go rectify those mistakes?
You know what sounds an awful lot like that?
What?
Josh Allen throwing picks and then throwing 3 touchdowns in a game.
That does sound a lot like Josh Allen. I'm not gonna lie.
A lot like Josh Allen to me.
Yeah,
and we give him hell every single week.
Trying to run over 300-pounders. Sounds like Josh.
Sounds like Josh.
Sounds like Joshua.
Sounds like Josh to me.
I think the difference is Josh Allen, he rectifies his mistakes the next drive.
That's fair.
Will Levis doesn't wait for the next drive.
Will
Levis doesn't even wait till the ball leaves his hand before he starts trying to rectify his mistakes. He makes a mistake and he's like, I deserve this. And then he goes and runs into a D lineman. It just gets messed up, but he's fine.
I love it.
And I what you're saying about NBA players' bodies not being able to take the abuse.
They quit.
I mean, one of the things everybody was talking about during the draft was, oh, his biceps are too big. We don't like quarterbacks with big biceps, right? Because they for whatever reason, can't throw the ball as well. But we're seeing the advantages of that, having a beefier, muscular quarterback, which means that he could go play linebacker whenever he feels like it.
He could put Jalen Ramsey's head right here, baby, and wear it like a shield.
I hope they stick with Will Levis. I hope he can.
I don't see a world where they don't. So I think we're good. I think Tannehill's out, Levis is in, and we're going to see Tannehill in a new spot next year.
And like you said with the Broncos, how they're doing the little things right. They're not making mistakes. Titans are the opposite, except for they make the mistakes and it doesn't matter to them. And I think it's two sides of a coin. I've said that more than I should have, but it's two sides of a coin, right? And we're seeing how you can win with a team that makes a lot of mistakes. You're seeing that, and it's just working harder than everybody else.
Yeah, I think just a little precursor for next year. We can get into it next week a little bit, but when you said that, when I was talking about Tannehill, it popped in my head. Maybe a landing spot could be the Giants.
For Tannehill?
Yeah, just a straight up trade.
Maybe.
If you want to see more of us, you can catch us on YouTube, Instagram, and TikTok at buffet.sports. We post every day, if not twice a day on Thursdays. We talk about the dumpster bowl of a game that happens every week, usually that Thursday night game. I'm Devin. This one's Travis. That's Zane. Ciao, gents.